All right, AP Calc students, getting closer and closer to the big day. I just wanted to give you a brief little video regarding the mock AP exam score in case you couldn't figure it out based on the posting as far as how this is going to go as far as scoring. First off, before I show you that, I just wanted to give you a little summary of how you're probably going to fit into one of these categories here. And just how you're dealing with May of 2020. This is a crazy time. Well, if you are a freshman, sophomore, or junior, I'm going to guess your attitudes toward AP is very different than a senior. And you could say, well, I will like these AP exam scores, just kind of the culture of our school anyway. These AP exam scores, they're important for my college application process. They're helping me get some college credit, and I can finish up my degree faster, or it gives me some more flexibility of options of choosing classes. But and maybe you're not that into it, but your family is. But for whatever reason, it's a pretty big deal and highly motivating factor, and you're pretty excited to try to do really well, and you want to try to get a 5 despite all the format changes and everything. And this has kind of been it's been inconvenient doing school this way and everything that's going on, but your life has been it's been different, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like it's not that big a deal. So I'm going to describe 3 types of underclassmen right now, and your attitude right now, you are still what I would call highly motivated, and you've adjusted to what's going on, and you're like, whatever. Okay? And I would put you as far as, everything that's going on. It's like, it's just, it is what it is. I'm doing fine. But your goal is, you're thinking, I'm still very motivated. I want to get a 5 on this thing. Okay? You're going to do your best. By the way, if you watch this whole thing, I'm going to give you a little hint here about how to get a bonus 10 points on your mock exam score. Anyway, maybe you're like, you know what, I'm doing okay. I'm kind of hanging in there. I'm still kind of motivated, but this has been hard. This has been difficult, and I'm going to say this has been a big adjustment. And maybe it's you've kind of rearranged some priorities, or just been this. I'm having a tough time learning. This has just been just more difficult than for some of my friends, and maybe you missed a sports season, or something you had big going on in the spring, and maybe your spring at Sage trip, you're really disappointed. Who knows? Something's going on. It's been a pretty big adjustment, and you're starting to wonder. You'd like to do well, but you're kind of wondering, and you're thinking, I hope, maybe I can just pass. I don't know. Maybe not. My heart's not super in it, but I hope I pass. So maybe maybe I can get a 3. But this has been tough. Okay. And then there's the third group of underclassmen, and this I would put you guys into this category, where you would say this has been very difficult, and maybe it's been very difficult because your home situation. Maybe your parents are really dealing with some massive stress of business loss, or just you kind of had a little bit of a rocky relationship anyway, and now you're sharing the same space, and it has caused just a lot of tension, and it has made it for a very difficult spring for you. And as far as the AP exam goes, you don't even care. In fact, maybe you're not even going to take it, or maybe you're just going to take it and cancel your scores. But there's other things that that are more important, or you've been highly distracted because of other things that are going on, and it's just been difficult. And what you've had to deal with are just things that other people have not, and you just want this year to be over. Let's just get to summer, and you just don't really. You're just over it. Okay. So you can kind of decide which one of those best describes you. I'm just, kind of speaking in broad strokes here. Which one would describe you? Okay. Now let's cross the line, and let's say you are a senior right now. In a similar type of way, there's people that are wired that just have an easy time kind of rolling with things, and they have like crazy great attitudes. They're people that are kind of like Miss Conley, where every day is just a chance to fire up and life is great, and she has an unbelievable attitude toward anything. And so this has been, this spring here has been clearly weird, but it's been cool, and nobody will ever be like us. And so you've just kind of put the fun in it, and you're still going to look forward to the AP exam and everything. And you're like, hey, I'm going to work hard and everything. I'm going to hope I get a 5. But hey, yeah, it's been weird, but whatever. No one will ever be like us. Weirdest spring graduation season, and it's just, you've been having a disproportionately crazy good attitude. Okay, I actually think that's probably a small percentage of seniors. The other chunk is, I'm going to put here, which I think might be the biggest, and I would say it has been a reality that this sucks. And this is not how I wanted my last semester of high school to go. And so this is not how I wanted to end high school. And everything you look forward to as far as the end of high school and just kind of those last closing months and everything, it's just different. Now I'm online and I'm not with my friends, and graduation, I'm hoping we get to have some sort of ceremony, but it's going to be online. Then maybe we'll do one in August or something. But this sucks, and this is not how I wanted it to go. And you're caught in this place of acknowledging that this sucks, and then you're trying to counter it with, well, yeah, but there's been other things in life that have been worse. At least I'm not, maybe this could be the 60s, and I got drafted, and I have to join the military and go to fight in a war in Vietnam here as soon as graduation's over. Maybe that'd be worse. Or maybe it's in the 40s and it's in the middle of World War II, and lots of things have been canceled because we don't know if we're even gonna be a country anymore. Those types of things. And you're saying, well, if things have been worse for somebody else, does that mean I can't acknowledge that this still kind of sucks and I'm super disappointed? No, there's always that balance of being real. And so you want to be real that, yeah, this is not how I wanted it to go. You can always say things could have been worse, people have had it worse, but you don't want to minimize the fact that this has sucked. And so when it comes to your AP exam, you're kind of a little bit more in the who cares. Who cares? Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I don't really, maybe I'll pass. I'm not really sure. But most of your day is more filled with thoughts of, this just isn't how I wanted it to go. But you're doing your best, and you're having a good attitude, and a lot of you guys are still hanging in there. And then there is, I would say, the last group where you're a senior and you are just like, I am so over it. My head is in college now. I'm not. It's just really having a hard time just even staying connected to any of it. Okay. And you're not even, your AP exam, you're like, whatever, you don't care. It's just totally over. Okay? Now, whichever one of those describes you the best, I want you guys to notice that there's a whole spectrum here, and there's not any of them that are right or wrong. It's just the way it is. And you don't want to be criticizing or judging people for where they're at. And especially with seniors, there's kind of that whole spectrum, and I'd like to encourage you to at least have as good an attitude as possible while acknowledging this isn't the way you wanted it to go. But I am really hopeful that we'll have some special moments here. They'll be delayed, but hopefully we'll have some special celebrations here later to celebrate you and your year and ending your high school career. And so I'd like to encourage you, if you're struggling, and if I kind of touched on a few things, if you're struggling, I just want to encourage you to hang in there and to do your best and finish well. But because of this broad range here, I thought it would be the most fair. Usually what I do is we would have a mock AP exam, and it would be it's a pretty big test, a pretty weighted score, and that kind of serves as your final. And I decided to just do it different. And so what's posted there on your on Canvas there is how your mock AP exam scores. We have had 40. By the way, I have these here for a reason. They're covering up something I'm going to show you here in a second. We have had 40 questions. We have had 40 homework questions, 40 FRQs. Okay? 40 FRQs. And if you multiply those by 2.5 points, that is equal to 100 points. Okay? So there is your last test score. Now, normally we would have had a Chapter 7 score that also would have went in there, and you would have had more opportunities. Some of you are sitting there with kind of a lower test average and maybe just had a bad test, and you didn't have an opportunity to really fix it. Well, here's your opportunity for a lot of you. So we have the 40 FRQs. Now, some of you guys did those and you didn't do much on it. You were kind of lost, but you submitted what you could do, which wasn't much. I want to make sure everybody understands. Go back and you fix your FRQs and you resubmit them. They're not going to be counted as late. You just turned in what you had. So resubmit whatever you want in the homework spots, and you'll get your points for homework, but then you'll get your points for the mock AP exam. So however many you want to do, you can do, and it'll get multiplied by 2.5 and to get you 100. If you did all 40, you guys are getting 100% on it. Maybe you're like, I don't know, 30 is good enough for me, and you can do the multiplication and times it by this, and you can calculate exactly what that test score will be. So several of you have emailed me and asked, where do I submit my better version of a homework problem because I didn't do it right or I didn't have it done. Just to go ahead and resubmit it and don't worry about it showing up late. That'll be completely disregarded. Okay, so if you're down here and you're still feeling pretty motivated, or things, as much as they suck, you're like, yeah, it's all right though. I still want to really do well. I'm hoping to do well in this test, and you're looking forward to it. You guys doing 40 old FRQs, and if you're in good shape. You guys have a very, very good shot at doing very well. And everything I've read from AP Central, all the partial credit, the entire situation. This is a year to give it a shot, do your best. You might really be surprised that you pass, when you even pass with a higher score. So even if you're at the extreme end of the spectrum here, where this has been crazy difficult and you're over it, you guys hang in there, stay focused, and give it a shot. You might really be surprised at how well you're doing and how much you're going to know on these. Okay, and if you're over here, guys, in the extreme end of the seniors, still, just hang in there and figure out, do your calculations about the minimum to keep your, to keep your grade so it's not dropping from third quarter, and just hang in there and do your best. You can do your calculations, and if you need to, reach out to a classmate that's maybe doing better than you, that you could get a little motivation from, and maybe look at some questions together, that type of thing. But you guys can figure out what your mock exam score is exactly based on how many FRQs you got done. All right, and again, if you need to go back and fix one, just resubmit it to the same spot. So there's 40 of them, and I posted all the videos are there, but also which question comes from which year and all of that. And make sure you go to the playlist on the YouTube channel, and you'll see them all organized nicely. There are also some supplemental videos on there regarding intermediate value theorem, some derivative graphs, and what was the other one? Limits, derivatives, integrals, just little things, okay? Now, if you would like to score a bonus 10 test points, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. It's going to be in the test category, and it's going to be out of 10 points, and if you don't do it, it doesn't matter, and if you want to do it, you can do it, and you'll see. I'm going to post it, but I wanted to explain it here. So here's the way you want to head into the test. If you're still on the motivated side, here's what you want to do when that test begins. You want to make sure you have all of your old FRQs available, but you want them organized by topic, so that if something comes up in a question, you're like, that reminds me of this part of this kind of question. You're not going to be digging through trying to search for them. You'll have them all organized. And so what you want to do is have piles, and these are the piles you want. You want a pile of all the questions that were the 2 rates. Okay, and then on top of it, it says 2 rates, and I'll list the years which those would be. Then a pile of PVAs, a pile of TOVs, a pile of derivative graphs, a pile of differential equations, and a pile of the potpourri and function builds. You should have 6 piles of questions, all categorized and in that chunk. So who knows what's going to show up on your test on Tuesday. and you see a table of values, you can go to that stack and just have them there. There might be a little nugget in there that you need to go look at before you answer something. Now, whenever you have an open note test, do not rely on being able to look at your notes, because you're not going to have a lot of time. This could just help you clarify something, but you don't want to be searching for the TOV problem. You want them all right there in the pile. The other thing you need, as well as these 6 piles, is you want your calculator. You want your paper you're going to do all the problems on, and then obviously pen, pencil, and eraser. You don't want to be searching for anything at that 11 o'clock. You actually need to check in at 10:30 on Tuesday morning. And if you do this and you make these piles, and you have everything all set, and you take a picture of it and upload it, and it's with a sign, and again I'll put all of this on the posting here that says I'm ready. You will get a extra bonus on your test category. So within the next few days here, as you're wrapping things up, if you need to, just if some of you are a little behind on homework, go to the video lessons and at least get this score to be decent here. Obviously, if you want a 50%, you need to do at least 20, which shouldn't be a problem. If you've been mildly keeping up as we've been going through the last, I guess, 8 weeks, you should be okay. But that'll keep your grade in good shape. And this I think covers just about everybody. So a lot of you guys haven't missed a beat, and you're just in great shape, and we're getting lots of questions and email, and you're kind of this kid over here, and that's great. And others of you, this has been a tough season in life. Okay, and if that's you, just hang in there and take advantage of the resources you have, and finish the year on an okay place. And we'll have the summer, and you'll be able to reset, and next year it'll be different, and this will be water under the bridge. So, and have a little compassion, empathy for people. This has been a very different experience for everybody, and even for the adults. And some of your teachers, it's been not that big a deal. Other teachers have their own kids at home. They're trying to do this and help their kids that aren't in school yet. Some of them have kids in school, and they're trying to juggle that. Some of them are dealing with spouses that have businesses, and those businesses are really struggling. And they're dealing with financial stresses and all sorts of stuff. People are dealing with their own parents that are older and a vulnerable age for the coronavirus thing. So there's all sorts of moving parts here, and you just got to play the cards you're dealt. And some of you got a little more difficult hand than others. And then you combine all of that with just your innate personality. That some of us tend to take life situations very seriously and somber, and we struggle with overcoming adversity. And other people they're just those adaptable people where it's water off a duck's back, and you just sort of figure it out. So all of that mixed in has led everybody to have a very different time right now. So because of that, I think this is the most fair thing to do. This will get you guys prepared, and will give you an opportunity to have a decent score. And if you're on the tougher end here, you can engage to a degree to do okay. And for those of you that have been hanging in there really well, you can get yourself 100 points for being really dialed in right now and really be prepared for Tuesday. So this will be posted under the mock exam score, and I'm also going to put the details here for the bonus 10 points, the 6 categories and what you need to have, and submit a picture of yourself and or a picture of all of your stuff and workspace ready to go. All right, so hopefully that all made sense. And don't forget to do the registration and check-in. You're supposed to check in, it says 2 days before your AP exam. You get your number, your registration. You want to make sure all of that's working. And hopefully you saw the links for that the College Board did, where they had 2 practice exams, and they kind of showed you how it was going to work with Mark and Verge. If you could handle their voices, I found them to be definitely on the annoying end of the spectrum, but that's just me. Lots of noises bother me. So anyway, there it is, you guys. Hang in there, and let's look for a great score on Tuesday, and we'll do our best, all things considered, to finish well. So we'll see you in class Monday or Tuesday. Good luck with your final preps.